Thank you for watching WTAJ's Nittany Nation Rewind. Nittany Nation Rewind is proudly presented by Patterson Automotive.
You're watching Nittany Nation Rewind.
Welcome back to Nittany Nation Rewind. I'm Jack Washer, and I'm tall.
And I'm Peter Terpstra, and I'm short.
But you look tall on those boxes.
On double boxes.
Yeah.
And you know what I like? Short football players.
Yes, you do.
It's time to talk about the best shrimpy gunslinging quarterback around.
It isn't a question how much yardage you give up. It's a question how many points. A kid who wants to throw the ball like that, fine. And then we got ahead, and we didn't put any pressure on him the second half. We just figured he wants to throw the ball, fine. We just weren't going to give him a bomb.
You know who we're talking about. We're talking about Doug Flutie. When he was at Boston College playing quarterback for them, Penn State bounced back from its first loss by taking down Syracuse, number 13 West Virginia, Flutie in Boston College, and number 13 Notre Dame. That set up a rematch. Number 2 Penn State and number 5 rival Pittsburgh in Happy Valley. Penn State blew out the Panthers the year before. Dan Marino and Pitt wanted revenge, and they would not get it. Kurt Warner starred, and Penn State prevailed. 19-10, that locked in a spot in what would be the national championship game. Welcome to New Orleans. Welcome to the Sugar Bowl. Welcome to the national championship between Herschel Walker and the Georgia Bulldogs and the underdogs, Penn State. Penn State was holding on to a 3-point lead to start the fourth quarter, and then you had the catch.
It's almost 38 years ago, so I'd like to say I remember all the details, but I don't.
Scoring for the bundle, Garrity, touchdown!
Todd Blackledge threw a perfect ball. Greg Garrity made a perfect catch. Laid out for a photo and a touchdown that will live on forever.
I had a bird's eye view of that because I didn't block anybody on that play. It's always Blackledge to Garrity, cover Sports Illustrated. Not once did they mention Battaglia to Blackledge to Garrity. I mean, that play wouldn't have happened without him.
Garrity would also pick up a key first down to seal the deal later in the game. Penn State would hold on and hold off Herschel Walker to take home the school's first national title, 27-23.
I think at the very end of the game, it started to, after that clock struck 4-0, and Fran Fisher's epic, Penn State national champion.
3, 2, 1. Penn State wins it.
It started to sink in. I think on the drive home, once we landed in Harrisburg the following night, and that 90-mile parade from Harrisburg on Route 322, it really dawned on us what this meant to so many people, and the fact that we had achieved something that Penn State had really fought so hard for so many years, only to come up short.
Ooh, goosebumps. So how good was this Penn State team? Now, you can make the argument that this was the best Penn State team ever. I feel like we've said that before on this show, but look at this. Years before 1982, Penn State moved away from its traditional Eastern schedule and started playing a national schedule, and this played into its ability to win a national championship. Penn State played 6 ranked teams in 1982, and they beat everyone except for Alabama, as you saw, and they made plenty of mistakes in that game. They also beat Maryland, led by Boomer Esiason, and Maryland would finish the season ranked. So maybe there's 7 ranked teams in there.
Yeah, and also helped that Penn State had a guy named Todd Blackledge, legendary Penn State quarterback, but people forget he was not a clear-cut starter his entire career at Penn State. He actually took over as a starter midway through the 1980 season as a sophomore, and in 1982, he had his best year by far. More than 2,000 yards passing, which in 1982, that's a lot. 22 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He actually threw more interceptions than touchdowns in his first 2 years as a starter. And until his senior season, well, that just was kind of the way things went.
You saw how it worked out.
Yeah. So we have all done some silly things on camera, some more than others.
That's me. I've done a lot of silly things on camera. We found some hidden gems when we were digging through the archives this time around. So let's take this a little bit of time to just sit back and enjoy.
Understand you're a contestant in the Joe Paterno lookalike contest.
I am Joe Paterno.
What are you doing here before the game?
Scouting out this tough West Virginia team.
Just slither it right down.
Slither it right down.
It's gonna kill me?
Down. I've got to tell you, you're not supposed to chew it. You swallow it. That's why it goes right down.
Different.
Different.
but good.
Man, nothing like raw oysters in the morning. Oysters are good. Watching someone eat oysters, not good, Pete.
Yeah, hopefully you weren't eating when you were watching that
no.
Breakfast of Champions. Now, the 1982 team had plenty of guys that went on to have interesting lives and interesting playing careers. It's time for Where Are They Now? And of course, we start with QB1, Todd Blackledge. Blackledge went number 7 overall in the legendary 1983 NFL Draft, which included John Elway, Eric Dickerson, Jim Kelly, and Dan Marino. Blackledge had a 7-year NFL career. He was drafted by Kansas City, 5 years there, 2 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, he went 15-14 as a starter. His NFL career, not as good as his broadcasting career has been, right? He made magic with the microphone after he started in radio in Ohio. He started working as a college football analyst in 1994, and he is currently working with ESPN as a college football analyst. And you've probably seen him on some of the Penn State football broadcasts.
Nothing like a little hometown broadcast. Now for lineman Bill Contz. He played 6 seasons in the NFL with the Browns and Saints. He currently lives in the Pittsburgh area. He traded in his talents as an offensive tackle for storytelling. Contz wrote a book titled When the Lions Roared, Joe Paterno and one of college football's greatest teams. We use it as research and kind of our, quote unquote baseline for the show. Now for wideout Greg Garrity. He's living in a Pittsburgh suburb. His daughter Samantha is an elementary school teacher, and his son Greg Jr. graduated from Penn State in 2016. He actually played on the Big Ten championship team as a wide receiver, just like his dad.
Now for Michael Zordich. If you remember, he was just a freshman in 1982, right? And he was able to play as a true freshman at Penn State. He finished his career as a first-team All-American. Years later, he was as a senior, a first-team All-American. Now, he finished as a team captain as well. He ended up marrying a Penn State cheerleader. He played 12 years in the NFL, and then his coaching career started with the Philadelphia Eagles. Then he went to Youngstown State, and now he is the defensive backs coach at Michigan. His son, also named Michael Zordich, was a captain on the 2012 Penn State football team as well. Coming up next, he was a star on the 82 Penn State team, and he was a star in the NFL, but he's making an impact at home with his family.